Hello everybody, and welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons! Today, we got a letter from Serrano. Gotta thank you again for the gift. I reckon you'll understand the real... I reckon you do understand the real Serrano. Not too many folks can say that. Anyway, here's a little something in return. Figured it was the least I could do. Neat. Daisy May, we got some freshly picked bamboo shoots. Yeah, a letter from Caroline. I've been told so many times I take things too seriously, so I'm gonna try to loosen up. From now on, I'm gonna be more spontaneous, less stuck in the rules and recipes. I'm serious. Oh, you're thinking this now. It is very fair. Now, my very first stop is gonna be basically just go straight to the Nooklings and see what the turnip prices are. Because, I don't know if it's obvious from my voice or not, but I just got out of bed. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, it's only like 10:30. I got time. I can relax in bed a little bit. Try to wake up a little before getting up. Daylight savings time. I could not stay in bed. Alright, boys. What do you got for me? Turnip price. 74. Okay. So this morning price is decent for a Monday morning price. I do have to say though, and I know I rambled about daylight savings time yesterday, but like, man, do I really just hate daylight savings time. And like, it's very much a case of like, I get the argument that some people would give is that, oh, well, you'll get the hour you lost back later in the year. It's like, not really. It'll just mess with my schedule later in the year, too. You know. It's so freaking dumb. But I mean, like, it's not like the world takes daylight savings time into account. Alright, we got everything from Serrano, an eye mask, and then our bamboo shoots. Which I might actually plant those. Just to get more bamboo going on. Because, like, well, okay, the world does. Kind of. Employers do. When you would be getting an extra hour. They don't care when you're losing an hour, though. I say this as someone who used to work nights. Like, my hours on the night of daylight savings where you lose an hour was just my normal hours. So I only actually worked 7 hours that night, got paid for 7. Gulliver. Trying to steal my treasure, huh? On the night where I would have gained an hour, my getting off time was 5:30, not 6:30. Come on, Gully. It's time to get up. Sneeze. Oh, jeez. My sinuses are, like, killing me. I hate it. Maybe now my nose will actually, like, run and clear out the sinuses a bit. Jeez. Verily, it be the nature of dreams to end. What, where, and I'll throw in a Y at no extra charge. You there, what's with the rude awakening, huh? You know who you're dealing with? Oh, it's you, Steven. That's different then. I'm slightly less annoyed. Is the Verily stuff about? Oh, sure, I think I heard a fish say it once. Anyway, I guess I must have fallen overboard and washed up on this beach. It happens. Don't worry about me. Getting rescued is gonna be a breeze. Let's go for help using my handy dandy. Oh my gosh. My handy dandy communicator is broken. This isn't dandy or handy. Oh, sardines. It's all cracked and busted. Alright. Yeah, I'll help you out. I'll look for him. Okay. And it's also very much a case of, like, it's not like, say, if you'd been starting work at, say, 7 in the morning for the past, you know, since daylight savings happened, or, you know, even before that. Like, let's imagine you've been working, you started working a new job, you start at 7. Your employer fully expects you to just go to bed, quote-unquote, early, so that you can still get up and work at 7, even though by, you know, the change in the clock, you're now actually going to work at 6. Like, it's so freaking stupid and just messes with people's sleep schedules, messes with, you know, it messes with everything. I freaking hate daylight savings so freaking much. Okay, reactions. Check it out. I don't bust this one out for just anybody, but you and me are cool, you know? Anybody's feeling low and you want to get them fired up, this one never fails. Ready? God bam. Did you get that? Being confident is contagious. Show someone you're riding high and they'll rise to meet you there. That is fair. Like, I feel like I'm more just annoyed with it because I already struggle with, like, consistent sleep schedules, and then daylight savings comes along and is like, how about we make that worse? So it's like, I'd rather you didn't. Peanut, make yourself comfy, Hula. Watch out. Wish I had some treats to offer you. I probably should have made a Bavarian cream in advance. No, it's fine. I'm just popping in to check on you, and then I'm gonna head out. That's how it works. That's how it works, Caroline. Jeez. How else am I gonna keep ranting about daylight savings if I'm in there talking with you eating cream? Yeah, like, I have always hated daylight savings, though, so like I can't even say it's like just a sleep thing. It's like I've always kind of hated it. But I mean, like, at this time of year, I always hated it because of, well, basically losing that hour. Like, which basically meant that if I did my day as per normal, changed nothing about my day, I wouldn't get enough sleep. And then if I basically changed up my day so that I could account for losing that hour of sleep, I was losing an hour of having, you know, doing something I enjoyed, just so I could make up that hour of sleep that arbitrarily is taken away by the clocks moving. You know, and it's not even time itself causing that issue. It's literally governments around the world not wanting to get rid of a useless and outdated thing. And I would always hear that whole thing of, but you'll get that hour back later in the year. It's like, but you really don't. Maybe if you live somewhere where daylight savings happens during the daylight hours, it's different. For me, it's always happened at 3 in the morning. So it's always at sleep time. So I know it apparently happens at different times, at different spots around the freaking world, because that makes sense. It either all happens at once or it shouldn't happen. Crumble, crumble. It honestly should just never happen, because it's stupid, and it doesn't need to happen. But, you know. But, like, all it means is, you know, especially if you basically just get up and go to sleep with an alarm. And you could just keep sleeping longer than your alarm most days. Well, that just means that, sure, your alarm is going to go off an hour later, but it's not like you got that hour back. Your body, if you get up and go to sleep with an alarm, will, on your presumably day off that you're not using an alarm at some point in the year, will reclaim that hour of sleep. So, basically all it means is you slept an extra hour you shouldn't have slept because, again, they arbitrarily moved where the clock is, and thus caused you problems. And, like, if you took the opportunity to get, you know, extra sleep, giving up time in your day to get that extra bit of sleep in, well, you're not getting that back later unless you're a night owl. You know. Good to see you, Steven. Let's talk. Welcome back to Yuka's house as spelled Musaka. My tummy's still rumbling now. I have no idea what that is. It's something. Hey, Ed. Oh, if it isn't Steven. So glad to hear your voice. Are you, though? Just making it up as I go, but I know one thing for sure. Moving to Estero was the best decision I ever made, because you live here. Ed, you're just trying to ride the coattails of my moderate fame, aren't you? That's what's going on. Yep, got a bottle. Dear soon-to-be best friend. While reading my diary the other day, I came across this recipe. I never cease to amaze myself, and now you, and only you, get to reap the benefits of my brilliance. I'll be honored if you crafted it. The recipe guru, Huck. Chocolate herringbone wall. Alright. Neat. Ah, yawning. Yeah, I don't want to sit and ramble about daylight savings all day, but man, am I frustrated because I had plans today, and I thought foolishly that I'd be able to get them done without needing to stress. Yuka and Simon are hanging out together. We'll talk with Simon first. Hey, I'm just chilling with Yuka. Let's talk. Yuka's here too. This is so cool. So cool. Well, isn't this a coincidence? What a pleasant surprise to see you here, darling. Want to chat? Oh, I could get used to a place like this. I'm in awe of Simon's sense of style. Are you though? This is like pears and fruit. I mean, it is a snack room, basically. Which does very much fit Simon, so I mean, it does work. But, yeah, like, I just... it annoys me so freaking much. Because, like, I know I'm going to be feeling this for a few days. Especially the having to now, like, rush more than I normally would to get things done today. Because... you guys will already have seen it, but at the time of me recording this, I have not recorded the We Love Katamari episode that went out 6 hours ago for you guys. So I still need to do that, which is a lot of cousin collecting. That series is, like, it's at a point where I could arguably say it's finished, because I'm at, like, post-game content. I've seen the credits, you know, I could just end the series. But I don't want to just end the series. Okay. I don't really like these, but I mean, this one I suppose isn't so bad. Nah. Some casual pants. They're not dress pants, though. Ah, yes. Wait, is this day coming up soon? I forget. St. Patrick's Day, I think it is? I don't know, man. Yeah, we got piggy nose. I want to buy the piggy nose. It doesn't really go with my look. So what I might do, because I know it's on the counters outside, I might buy it out there so I can have it, but not have to then take it off my look. Well, something did. It's just also out here. So. Well, buy it. Yeah. Have you met our other sister Label yet? She comes silent from time to time. She's got big dreams, sometimes too big if you know what I mean, but I think you'll like her. She can be a little shy around strangers, but I know that's not a problem for you. That is very fair. Yeah. My nose feels like it's running, but it's not. And doing that just basically told me that it's not actually running, and I freaking hate that. My brain was like, yay, my nose might be running. Because that would mean that whatever's in my sinuses is leaving my sinuses, but no. No. Fun. Which means I'm probably gonna have a really fun day today again, because, like, yesterday, my sinus, like, from what I can gather... Sorry, I'm in the middle of something right now. What are you up to? Currently crafting a Western-style stone, just to see how I do about it. Western-style stone? Something tells me you already know how to make one. I do? Not surprised, you never fail to impress. You must know a do-it-yourselfer. Yawning. What even is that? Like, I think I had to look at it last time I got it too, didn't I? What is a Western-style stone? Oh, okay, it's a gravestone. Okay. Gala's just making a gravestone. Okay. Seems about right. She's just plotting Ed's demise. I'm just imagining now, like, very, like, SpongeBob-esque, like, she just, like, walks up, places it down in front of Ed's house, calls him out, and just, like, gestures at it, like, alright, time to get in. Just, like, he's like, alright, get in. I wish I had time to have woken up a bit before, recording, because now I'm in my yawning phase of waking up. It's always the most annoying phase of waking up. I don't think I have room to pick up these. Okay, I did have exactly room. I think exactly room as well. Oh no. Okay, that was only 18, so... I had more room than that. My brain was mathing wrong. I'm not great at simple math. Also, I think I rambled about this yesterday, but I want to, like, talk about it, because I know I talked about it during my last Monster Hunter stream. I've seen so many people since Wilds came out talking about how much, oh, the handler from Wilds is so much better than the handler from Worlds, like Monster Hunter World, and it's like, how? And they'll be like, oh, well, the handler in World, like, tells you all kinds of unnecessary stuff, and it's like, no, not really. I don't think I've ever had her tell me anything that, like, wasn't relevant. And, like, people bring up examples of, like, oh, well, she brought up such and such tutorial dialogue while I was hunting this master rank monster, and it's like, so you have tutorials still turned on, is what you're telling me. Like, that's not an issue with the handler, that's you still having tutorials turned on. Now, you don't want her giving you tutorial text, turn off tutorials. You can actually do that in World. You can't do that in Wilds. In Wilds, the Alma will basically tell you basic tutorial text at every possible opportunity. The amount of times I have had her be like, remember you can carve materials off of small monsters too. Remember you can carve materials off of severed parts. It's like, yes, Alma. I know. I don't need you telling me. And she's like, but you might, so I'm gonna tell you again. Remember, you can carve materials off of small monsters too. It's like, remember to pick up anything a monster leaves behind. Even though most of the stuff a monster leaves behind is like a broken part that'll be like a single, like, heavy slicing pod or something. Which is not useful. You don't need to pick that up. You can't keep it. So unless you're immediately going to use it, or don't have anything already better in your slinger, there's literally no point in picking it up, because all you're going to be doing is putting... Either you'll waste time picking it up to then just not use it if you don't, if you don't end up using it. Or it'll be a case of you'll be throwing away something more useful from your slinger to have a singular heavy slicing pod. And that's just not worth it. Hello, Pinky. Hey there, my fabulous bestie. I hope you love hanging out with my, hope you love hanging out at my place today, boy. What's the latest? Photo is more fun with your hair is fashionable glam. You think your current hairstyle is Trez Fab or Le Drab? Unwashed. So I feel like that would be pretty drab. I haven't had the time to... It's been a few days. I'm gonna say drab. It doesn't, Pinky. My hair doesn't look good right now. But, like, that's something that I think will just drive me crazy, is people being like, oh no, the handler bad because this. It's like, I honestly don't understand where the hate towards the handler really comes from. I say as somebody who once upon a day, pretended to not like the handler because the person I played the game with didn't like the handler. So, just to not create problems, I was just like, yeah, the handler sucks. And it's like, nah, I really don't mind the handler at all. Never did. Like, I definitely preferred the old style, like, guild ma'am kind of thing, where, your handler was your quest giver standing in the town, never left the town, you got the quest from them, and then you went off, did the quest, came back. Like, I liked that. And, like, the one thing that... And people will try to defend this to the highest heavens of, like... Okay, in Monster Hunter World, if you go out into the field on an expedition, before you're able to, say, hunt a... Like, take a quest to hunt a, Devil Joe. You can still hunt it, slay it, carve it, and get rewards out of it at the end as well for having hunted it. In Wilds, if you're out, like, you can have the quest to hunt a monster. And then still have Alma be like, you do not have authorization to hunt that monster. And you'll be reminded of that every, like, couple minutes while you're while you're fighting this monster, that you don't have authorization to be fighting it. And then you get no rewards for fighting it. At all. None. Outside of the stuff you get for breaking wounds, you know, damaging wounds, breaking parts, and carving it. Which, to be fair, is a decent chunk of rewards, but you can never get certificates that way. So if you wanted to make the armor set of that monster early, you can't. Unless, you know, well, again, if you already have the quest, you have to go to Alma, get the quest, and then do it. Because not every monster is exactly the same. They all have slightly different ratings to them, and some of them will be slightly higher than what you were allowed to take on. The handler from World would just be like, yeah, beat the crap out of that thing. And then you do. And then you get rewarded. Like, it's also very much a case of, like, people are like, oh man, Alma gives you supplies and stuff. It's like, well, technically, yes. But it's more, they've just made the guild supplies less believable. Because, like, in older Monster Hunter games, your guild supplies would just be in a box waiting for you at the start of your hunt. It was pretty neat. Okay, let me see here. Turnip prices. Okay, 69. So it's lower in the afternoons. Okay. So, like... Brain, where were we going? Why do I already forget what I was talking about? Oh no, it's one of those days. I legitimately cannot remember what I was just saying. So that's fun. Alright, right, we need to find Gulliver's doodads. There's one. Right, the guild supplies stuff. In Wilds, how it works is just Alma, technically, by at least dialogue, puts it into your little raptor's pouch. And then you then take it out of there. And as the quest goes on, the guild will issue you more supplies. And it's like, okay. So we're literally fighting something that, like, in multiple quests, we are fighting something that is being a serious danger and is an actual risk of, like, destroying a city of innocents. And Alma will give you a few first aid meds, a few potions, one ration. It's like, what? We're facing, like, a serious threat here, Alma, and that's all you're giving me. Meanwhile, like, in the older games, like, if you were doing a single-player hunt, there would only be your items in the box. And then if you're doing what was meant for a multiplayer hunt, there would be all 4 players' items in the box. Oh, glowy spot. I don't know, where did it go? I think it's right above me. Yes. Money. So, like, you would have up to 12 first aid meds. I think it would be 12. No, 4, 8, 16 first aid meds. 12 rations. You know, if it was a trapping quest, you'd have access to 2 easy shock traps and enough easy trank bombs to, basically make easy use of those. You know, like, you'd get so many supplies. Meanwhile, again, in Wilds, you get next to nothing. There really isn't multiplayer and non-multiplayer quests, so, you know. Sucks to be you. You always get the same supplies. Like, the only time she has ever, like, given me more supplies than, like, the basic number of potions and first aid meds, and the potions are mostly irrelevant. Mostly just because you're probably entering that quest with your own supply of potions. So unless the quest goes really bad, those potions are never going to get used. And if instead of potions, they were first aid meds, you know. But the only time that I've ever seen her give me more than the normal amount of stuff was for a quest where, basically you went straight from one hunt into another with no chance to, like, resupply in between. She gave me more supplies there. That was about it. Hey, Gulliver. Got your communicator parts. Got them right here. I mean, I kind of wish I could keep them so I could build the big robot, but you need them more than I do. I think. It's their brother from another rudder. Let's move my keyboard so I had room to just set my coffee cup down closer to me. Yeah, I'll check my mail. Nothing to do now, but pace back and forth the next few hours. Better get started. I mean, that's all you were really doing beforehand, too, so. You know, I gotta put some stuff away, so. Let's get on that. Like, I don't understand all of the hate towards the handler in World. I understand a bit of hate towards Alma, but to be fair, that's also a case of, I'll plant the bamboo later. I don't know where exactly I want to plant it yet. Part of at least my dislike towards Alma, and like, it's not like I hate her or anything, it's just like, especially seeing how people are, I kind of dislike her just from how people have been acting towards her and like the previous handler kind of thing. But like, one of my things with congestion with Alma is how much, like, she says things during a quest, and then suddenly the moment that quest is over, it's like she just forgets how to talk most of the time, and you're then dealing with, like, ooh, dig up clams, collect Nook Miles. It's really that simple. Real bonus here is that you get to walk along the beach for this one. Neat. I didn't know that was a thing. I guess I should dig up more clams. Like, one of my biggest issues with Wilds is the player character having, you know, a lot of dialogue. And that could have been solved by just simply having Alma speak. And yet she doesn't. A lot of the time. And the player character says a lot of the things that Alma really should be saying. Especially with how people perceive her as being this, like, smart, super smart handler who knows all this stuff, and it's like, okay, but, counterpoint, the player had to point out to her what a monster's track was. Now, I get what they're trying to do is imply that the player character is, like, some experienced hunter who's nomadic and has fought big monsters before, and has a traumatic history to them, and it's like, yeah, me as the player, I have no knowledge of any of this, so it didn't happen. Like, that's where I'm going at it from. And that's mostly just so I can try to maintain some level of this is actually my character. But, like, it's one of those things of, like, if Alma is this super smart handler, then why did she need to be told what that monster's track was? Because even me as the player, who had just simply played previous Monster Hunter games, I kind of recognized the monster bits that were part of the track thing we were looking at. I knew what it was. Almost down to the exact subspecies of this monster, like, just based on the coloration. So, like, I don't think Alma is anywhere near as smart as people think she is. And I mean, that's fine. Like, she doesn't need to be super smart. But when that's something that people are using as an example as to why she's so much better than the world handler, and it's like, okay, but I don't remember the world handler ever being like, what could this monster be, while looking directly at, like, clear evidence of what the monster is. And I mean, yeah, the handler from World was not very bright. Would do things that wasn't a very good idea. Like going out into the field when she knows there's a Devil Joe nearby and goes hunting for mushrooms. And then nearly became the lunch of Mr. Pickles. You know. So, like, sure, that wasn't very smart of her. But also, it was pretty clear that that was done as more or less Capcom acknowledging that the player base had been calling Devil Joe Mr. Pickles for freaking ages. Like, it was Capcom trying to play along with the joke, and I thought it landed pretty well. And I mean, it's not really any different than actually stopping and reading some of the quest dialogue. I mean, even in the older games, a lot of it is quite literally like, so I went out into the fields where all these monsters are and got attacked by them. Go beat up the monster. And it's like, okay, why are random people just running off into the fields where all the monsters are and expecting not to get attacked. You know, Monster Hunter's always been kind of silly that way. You can't take quests seriously. Also, yes, I am just doing this to get enough miles. How could you tell? I'm a ready coast dweller. I might also make some fish bait out of these, I mean. The fish bait is pretty useful. God, I really wish I wasn't so congested. It does feel like it is clearing out. It's just clearing out into, like, the back of my throat, which is... I mean, I'll take it. But, yeah, it just annoys me. Though, I mean, people hating on the handler from World has always kind of annoyed me just because of, like... Their reasons for disliking her aren't good reasons. Like, oh no, she gives you the tutorial dialogue. I mean, yeah. In the past, it would usually be the provisions guy. Like, thinking back to, like, Monster Hunter 3, which is where a lot of people got their start in Monster Hunter. Though, I suppose, more of them got their start with World. And it honestly feels like those that started with World that really don't like the handler. But, back with 3... it was the chief's son who would give you your tutorializing. And he was basically just the provisions guy. And they did, like, multiple, like, forced tutorial hunts, basically. And it's like, yeah. That was annoying. You could make the argument then of, like, oh, well, they don't give you any tutorial dialogue past that. It's like, well, they kind of do, kind of don't. They don't give you anything useful after that, but they do still tutorialize you on other things after that. So, like, you know. Also, this is completely off topic, but I just thought of this, so I want to make mention of it. Kept, like, looking through just, like, a couple PSP games that I have just in, like, the dresser here. And basically, I guess, got reminded of, like, man, I really miss when games used to have instruction manuals that were, like, cool. Or just instruction manuals, period. Like, it was so nice. But these days, you just don't have that anymore. Crap, fish bait. This is gonna take a while. But I don't care. I want fish bait. Like, it was really cool back in the day of, like, how you could basically, like, you know, stop and read the manual on, like, the car ride home, or, you know, depending on the era of the game. If it was a PS2 game, you could be reading at the manual during the loading screens. And, like, you'd be learning little cool bits about, you know, the game you just bought. It was really cool. And now these days, there's just nothing, even though, like, even, like, a Switch game, they could easily put a manual in there, and it would be really cool. Like, imagine if, like, Animal Crossing New Horizons had, like, a little instruction manual that was basically like a little tourist brochure. Like, that would be really cool. Ugh. So much just blah in my throat. Blah. But no, instead we just have an empty box. Like, a Switch game case doesn't need to be even as remotely big as it is, just because, like, the game cartridge itself is smaller than a 3DS game. Like, game cartridge. And, like, there's no manual, there's no nothing. A 3DS game case only had to be that big because they put a manual in it. You know, so it's like, okay, Nintendo, what are you doing? You know? And then you get other games, like, on other consoles, like, we have multiple PS4 games, and it's like, yeah, these don't really have manuals as much as they have, like, a little leaflet to tell you the basic controls, and that's about it. Like, past that, there's nothing to it. There's no personality. There's no flair. Meanwhile, like, I could pull out, like, the Final Fantasy Tactics, game that I have here, or the Star Ocean First Departure for the PSP, and like both manuals are like full of cool stuff. Like the Final Fantasy Tactics one gives you basically a breakdown of like the classes of characters, gives you a, you know, basic look of what they look like, tells you about important characters and basic traits about these important characters. So not only is it something really cool that you can read before you start playing, it's also something that you can pick up and read after having played for, you know, not played for a while, to be like, who was this again? Like, and that's just cool. I have hiccups now. Oh, jeez. Oh, that felt. That felt. That hiccup just caused, like, an immense pressure, like, right here. Oh, jeez. I am not doing the best. It's great. Wait, I don't have anything else to craft. Now, does that stuff stack? Yes, it does. Cool. If it didn't, I was gonna be very upset, but Ed is sitting next to my cardboard box. Ed, that is my house. Get away from my house. Got my storage unit over here, and then I got my house out there. Like, yeah, please tell me I'm not the only one that, like, misses, like, proper, like, instruction manuals. Like, those were so freaking cool. But now we just don't got any. I do want to come double check the furniture in here. So I'm still looking for something to, like... No, there's nothing in here. I'm still looking for things to, like, replace the seating out there with. Boys, you need to get more chairs in. Can I, like, de-equip my shovel in here? I cannot. I was gonna sell it and buy a new one where I just did all that digging, but... Oh well. I'll probably just have to get a new shovel tomorrow. Now, I've got some design plans for around Gala's house that I want to get working on. But that can wait for a future day. I've got to order the stuff, so I'm gonna probably order it after, like, today. So I'll pop in here and, like, check the Lost and Found and claim my Nook Miles. So I might have a bunch of mail tomorrow of various things. And then I'll need to, like, jump cut to, like, not show them, because I want to keep it as a bit of a surprise. I have an idea. I just don't know if the idea is actually even going to work out. But okay. I think that's going to be it for today. I've been going for like 50 minutes-ish. Pretty good length. I know I've spent basically all of today just rambling about things that annoy me. Mostly daylight savings. But actually, I think mostly it was Monster Hunter. But it's just how I am. So with that, I thank you all very much for watching. And hopefully I'll see you back here tomorrow for more Animal Crossing New Horizons. See you all then. And now in this end card, I would like to ask if you liked the video, hey, could you hit the like button? And if you're not subscribed, could you maybe subscribe? That'd help me out a lot. Thanks a bunch.